disagree with your vote on Melissa's law. I'd like you to explain why. Melissa's law, if you recall, was a measure, a three-strikes bill, that would deny early parole for sex offenders and repeat violent offenders. That's part one of my question, why you voted against that law. The other part would be is would you consider adding more crimes to that list next session?
Sure. Melissa's law is a bill that's been filed for a number of years and did pass into law this session. And it's a bill that I disagreed with. Dean mentioned 3 strikes and you're out. This is a criminal justice policy that has been passed in other states, and all the studies over the past decade have shown that it does absolutely nothing to reduce crime. It's something that not only does absolutely nothing to reduce crime, and there are actually more conservative states that are now repealing the laws, but it also significantly drives up costs, specifically imprisoning people. And it's important to point out when we're talking about where are the cost drivers in Massachusetts, the third biggest expenditure for state government is the Department of Correction. And as much as we need to make sure to support our prisons, I am a little concerned that the third greatest amount of expenditure the state government has. Now, what is my approach to reducing to improving public safety? I think first of all, it's about prevention. It's about having more police officers on the street, having more firefighters in the fire department, so if a public safety emergency comes up, there are people there responding immediately. That's why I fought for an increase in state aid, both for municipal services but also education. It's why I fought for things like closing corporate tax loopholes, and yes, fighting for fair taxation, because a number of the fire departments, a number of the police stations in this region have lost members over the past couple of years. I want to get back that up to make sure we have safe neighborhoods in every community that I represent.
Mr. Cavaretta, 45 seconds for rebuttal.
Well, I would only point out that this measure passed the legislature overwhelmingly. My opponent was only one of 6 or 7 senators to vote against it. And when you're talking about public safety, I think you have to move beyond just the cost. You know, the #1 role of government is to ensure public safety. And when we're talking about repeat violent offenders, sex offenders harming our kids, they lose the right to early parole. They lose that right. And government must stand up sometimes and spend extra dollars. And I say that as a fiscal conservative and independent thinker. And so we just disagree on that issue. And in terms of cost, you know, I don't know if you've ever supported a spending reduction in any program.
Senator Eldridge.